What you're about to hear is not just a story about an ancient artifact. It is the story of one of the most sought-after objects in human history. A sacred relic said to hold extraordinary significance. An object carried across deserts, protected by priests, guarded by kings, feared by enemies. And then it vanished. Not for decades, not for centuries, but for more than 2,000 years. To this day, no one can say with certainty where it is. Some believe it still exists. Others believe it was destroyed long ago. And some believe it was hidden intentionally, never meant to be found. This is the mystery of the Ark of the Covenant. A mystery that has survived the rise and fall of empires. A mystery that sits at the crossroads of faith, history, archaeology, and legend. And even now, one question continues to echo through time. What happened to the Ark of the Covenant? And if it still exists, where is it today? To understand the mystery, we must travel back more than 3,000 years. To a world of deserts, kingdoms, prophets, and ancient wars. According to the Hebrew Bible, the Ark of the Covenant was created during the time of Moses. After the Exodus from Egypt, God instructed Moses to construct a sacred chest. This was not merely a container. It was not simply a religious symbol. It was intended to represent the covenant between God and the people of Israel. The instructions were precise. The ark was to be built from acacia wood, covered inside and outside with pure gold. On top sat a golden cover known as the mercy seat. At each end stood a cherub with outstretched wings. Their wings reached toward one another, forming a sacred space between them. According to tradition, this was where God's presence would symbolically dwell among his people. Inside the ark were said to be some of the most sacred objects in Israelite history. Most famously, the stone tablets containing the Ten Commandments. Some traditions also describe the ark as containing Aaron's staff and a jar of manna. Together, these objects represented divine guidance, authority, and survival. But what made the ark legendary was not merely what it contained. It was the stories that surrounded it. Throughout ancient texts, the ark appears as more than a religious artifact. It is portrayed as a symbol of divine power, a sacred object capable of influencing events in extraordinary ways. When the Israelites traveled through the wilderness, the ark traveled with them. When they entered battle, the ark often accompanied their armies. One of the most famous stories involves the city of Jericho. According to the biblical account, the ark was carried around the city walls for 7 days. Then, the walls collapsed. For believers, this was evidence of divine intervention. For skeptics, it was a powerful legend passed down through generations. Regardless of interpretation, the ark became the spiritual center of an entire nation. Centuries later, during the reign of King David, the ark was brought to Jerusalem. It became a symbol of unity, a symbol of God's covenant with Israel. David's son, King Solomon, would eventually build the first temple, a magnificent structure that became the center of worship for the kingdom. And within the temple stood the Holy of Holies, the most sacred chamber, a room so holy that only the high priest could enter it, and only under specific circumstances. This was where the ark was kept, hidden from ordinary sight, protected by layers of ritual and tradition. For generations, it remained there, at the heart of the nation, at the center of its faith. But history rarely allows greatness to remain untouched, and soon, disaster arrived. In 586 BCE, the Babylonian Empire, under the rule of King Nebuchadnezzar II, invaded Jerusalem. The city fell. The temple was destroyed. Its treasures were seized. Its people were exiled. It was one of the most devastating moments in ancient Jewish history. Yet amid the destruction, a question emerged. A question that remains unanswered even today. What happened to the Ark? Strangely, historical records describing the fall of Jerusalem mention many sacred objects taken by the Babylonians. Golden vessels, temple furnishings, religious treasures. But the Ark of the Covenant is not clearly listed among them. It simply disappears from the historical record. No confirmed account describes its capture. No reliable source records its destruction. No document explains where it went. It is as if the Ark vanished before the Babylonians arrived. And from that moment forward, the mystery began. One theory suggests that Jewish priests secretly removed the Ark before Jerusalem fell. Knowing that the city was doomed, they may have hidden it in a secure location, perhaps beneath the Temple Mount, perhaps inside a cave, perhaps somewhere known only to a select few. If this happened, the secret was never passed on. Or if it was, that knowledge has been lost. Another theory points toward Ethiopia, and this is where the mystery becomes even more fascinating. According to the traditions of the Ethiopian Orthodox Church, the Ark was brought to Ethiopia long before the destruction of Jerusalem. The story claims that it was taken by Menelik I, who is said to have been the son of King Solomon and the Queen of Sheba. According to this tradition, the Ark eventually arrived in the ancient city of Aksum. There, it is said to remain to this day, inside the sacred compound of the Church of Our Lady Mary of Zion. Only a single guardian monk is allowed to see it. No archaeologists have examined it. No scientific testing has been performed. No independent verification exists. As a result, the claim remains impossible to confirm. Yet millions believe it, and the mystery continues. Could the real Ark be hidden there? Or is the object merely a symbolic replica? No one knows. Another theory suggests the Ark remains somewhere beneath Jerusalem itself, specifically beneath the Temple Mount. For centuries, explorers and researchers have speculated that hidden chambers may exist beneath the site. Secret tunnels, ancient vaults, forgotten storage rooms. If the Ark was hidden before the Babylonian invasion, perhaps it still lies there, waiting, undiscovered. But the political and religious sensitivity of the area makes extensive excavation extremely difficult. As a result, the theory remains impossible to fully test. Then there is the simplest explanation of all. Perhaps the Ark was destroyed. Perhaps it was looted during war. Perhaps it was melted down for its gold. Perhaps it simply disappeared amid the chaos of history. Yet this explanation raises its own questions. If the Babylonians captured such an important object, why is there no clear record of it? Why does one of the most sacred artifacts in ancient history vanish without explanation? And so the uncertainty remains. Over the centuries, countless people have searched for the Ark. Archaeologists, explorers, historians, treasure hunters, religious scholars. Some believed they were close. Some claimed to have discovered clues. Some announced sensational theories. But none produced definitive evidence. The Ark remained hidden, or lost, or both. And perhaps that is why the mystery continues to captivate the world. Because the Ark of the Covenant is more than an artifact. It has become a symbol of humanity's search for answers, a symbol of the connection between faith and history, a symbol of mysteries that refuse to be solved. For believers, it represents a sacred link to divine history. For historians, it is one of the greatest missing objects of the ancient world. For archaeologists, it is perhaps the ultimate lost artifact. And for everyone else, it remains a fascinating reminder that even after thousands of years, some secrets remain beyond our reach. Perhaps one day, A forgotten manuscript will surface. Perhaps a hidden chamber will be uncovered. Perhaps an archaeological discovery will reveal the truth. And the mystery that has endured for over 2 millennia will finally be solved. Or perhaps the Ark of the Covenant will remain exactly where it has been for centuries, hidden, silent, waiting, its fate known only to history itself. And until that day comes, one question will continue to echo through the ages. What truly happened to the Ark of the Covenant? And if it still exists, where in the world is it now?